How far back do you wanna go?
I do.
You're missing me eating dinner.
Yes.
We're
We're live.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Calling the meeting to order. Rise for a moment of reflection. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I got my feet for this one.
So we can see. Yeah.
I can't believe no public.
So why, what are we doing that's so controversial?
No, it's just the first we have.
Oh.
I miss people.
They were over here last week.
I think. So, okay. Lori, is Lori with us?
Yeah.
You able to do a roll?
She's not right now. I just sent her text.
She was here last time.
Oh, she's here. It just was slow.
Lori, can you hear us?
Meeting adjourned?
So we gotta give the teacher 5 minutes. He can leave.
It's a professor, it was 15.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could do what we did the one time she wasn't able to get on and just.
Yes, she's on. Yeah, hopefully this works a little bit better over the new place. Yeah, the Wi-Fi was kind of difficult here today, so.
Okay, well, if she's, 30 minutes recorded, right? We could just start it, Tammy, and work. our way
Hello.
around. Hey.
I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. I kept saying hello.
We
heard That's okay.
we heard you, we were ignoring.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Whenever you're ready for the roll call, please.
I am Broad,
Here.
Colazzo,
Present.
DeBowser,
Here.
Brick,
Here.
Lancaster,
Here.
Newell,
Here.
Sterniso,
Here.
Smith,
Present.
8 present.
All right, thank you, Lori.
Thank
Any
you.
addition to the agenda? No, okay. No executive committee or anything? Okay, in which case then, we can move on to approving the June 3rd minutes. I don't know if everyone saw it or not, but the original packet did have a typo. That, I think she sent the correction, looks like it didn't make it on the one that I have downloaded, but you had sent out a correction, correct? And it originally said work session when it shouldn't have, and then the first sentence it said work session, which it shouldn't have. So again, I have the wrong one downloaded, but that was corrected, so we have, excuse me. A motion to approve, so move, okay, move and seconded, okay. Any further discussion? Anyone else catch a typo or an error that we missed? No, in which case then, all in favor of approving the minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we on to the June 17th work session minutes. We have a motion to approve. I didn't see anything. Oh, this will go.
Make that motion.
Tammy moves to approve. We have a second, and Jessica seconds. Any discussion on the work session minutes? No, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Motion carries. Moving on to the May 2025 financial report. We have
Move to approve.
moved, and we have a second. Moved, and we'll give it to Peter. Jessica fought him for it, but. Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion on the financial? Any jump on anyone want to talk about anything? Nicole, do you have anything you want to add? Or not right now, maybe later, maybe next week?
The HR consultant where it says Dr. Piper from IUP, we did schedule that. That is July 20, at the end of the month. The Dr. Piper is gonna be coming in and doing a session for management, 4-hour morning session.
Nice.
Okay, Well, in which case then? Any further discussion on the financial report? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? Motion carried. Well, there's no public here to comment, so we'll move past that. Okay, on the committee report, Peter, would you like to start us off with the admin?
You know, I don't think any of these action items come from our committee, so.
Yeah, I think those were, they may have been admin if they had gone through admin, but I don't think they did.
So. Mostly, got the report there, we had over the financial report. Parking department. Through safety committee parking. Repairs have been made to the parking garage. And some hitches there. We had a report from the HR consultant. We were told about an intern for communications. Is she gonna come to a meeting?
Yeah, she might be at community development next week, but she'll definitely be at the next council meeting.
Good. And then. Like the demolition of blighted properties. Just gonna work just on the Washington Street.
And some of those neighbors were very happy.
Yes, they were.
I know, I received some messages.
If you wanna move that one action item on your new business regarding that property under admin, we can do that.
Okay, but it would be the second, right?
Isn't it already under new business?
Yeah, I mean, since you're talking,
Move it to here rather than waiting till we get to,
yeah, since we're talking
Oh,
about it under admin.
yeah, that's the second one. Motion to approve the listing to sell the recently demolished property at 278 Washington Street. That's second,
Second.
I guess my only question on it would be. By nature of this appearing before us, it was actually torn down, right? I thought it was, but just to confirm.
We're talking about selling vacant lot.
Right, that's,
Wow, that was fast.
It is torn down and they were seeding it this week and. We talked to Pat about it and we're gonna list it, right, Pat? We're gonna,
Yeah, well, I mean, we have to put it out for bid,
yes,
and then we get sealed bids, and then we were talking about having a minimum. Based on the assessed value, like what the property is assessed at,
Oh, like
just
if it
the
was-
land, not the building, cause the building's gone. But whatever the assessed value of the land is, so, you know, obviously, if it's, and I have no idea, I haven't looked at it yet.
yeah,
I probably have it at the office, I just don't know off the top of my head, but say it's assessed at $20,000.
right.
Well, if somebody comes in and bids 2,000, I'd probably tell you to hold on to it
Right.
at this point for that
But if
amount.
they bid 18,000.
Sure. Right, absolutely.
Anything over 15 goes, something like that.
The goal is to get your money back for the demolition, and that's, you know, a little bit towards the other parts.
So what if
So it's the next step now.
wanted it?
Then they can bid. That's good for the borough.
Yeah,
Yay, borough.
they could feel collectively too.
That's what I'm saying, collectively, yeah.
Yeah,
At that point, it's up to them to figure out, one person buys it, then they subdivide it, if they want whatever, right, it's up to them.
however they want to put it on there.
Yeah, okay. In which case then moved and seconded, any further discussion? This would have to be a roll call, because we're listing,
This is financial component too. So
yeah, thank you. You summarized it really good. So in which case, Lori, whenever you're ready, roll call vote, please.
Yes, Broad,
Yes.
Palazzo,
Yes.
DeBowser,
Yes.
Brick,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Newell,
Yes.
Cerniso,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
8 yes, 0 no.
Carried. Whatever we sell for should be throw a party on. Before it closes.
Little neighborhood boy.
Yeah.
Let the grass grow first.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Okay, worst case then, anything else from admin? Do you wanna? Continue on, Peter, or are you good to go?
No, that's it.
Okay. Development. Oh, I should have looked, it was a month ago.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. It all went together this moment. There it is. We did not have a quorum in May, so we didn't have any actual approval of that one. More zoning updates. Trajan had sent out that email with a whole lot of pages. I didn't count, but there was a lot of pages in the draft document. So they've been working hard on that. East Recorder project update. They're starting to, although I haven't seen, unless I missed it, which is totally possible. We were gonna be getting an email with a survey, I thought, and that didn't happen yet, I don't think, unless I missed it,
For 8th Street.
for the 2026
The priority
priority
setting.
setting.
Yeah, so I just talked to Jeff and Trajan today. You should be receiving that tomorrow.
Perfect, okay.
Ideally, they would like you to complete it by Monday ahead of community development, so you can talk about it on Tuesday.
Okay, so look for that tomorrow, excellent. And just a reminder for folks and to myself. That's where they're gonna take the different catalytic projects and things like that, and have us rank them how we would think they were the highest priority to lowest priority, et cetera. I'm assuming there's gonna be some level of instruction with the survey.
And it should be fairly simple. I believe they're using Survey Monkey this year, so you won't have to sift through Excel documents and a bunch of pages and whatnot.
Yeah.
That should be going out tomorrow.
Yeah, Trajan got to go to a active transportation forum, so good job on him to present something, the sidewalk program. So, yeah, okay, in which case then, I think that is really the big recap. Community development, any questions for community development?
Sidewalk program, we give an update here?
Sure.
Yeah, we have the letters ready to go out. We talked about this in community development, so the letters are ready to go. Brenda went down, she was gonna email me what the average, what we're gonna put it out for bid. So the letters are going out and we're getting ready for the bid process. So we're gathering that all at the same time. So we'll have an idea of what we're putting out for bid. So we're gonna ask the contractors, whoever bid on it. We're looking for somebody to come in and replace how many of our feet of sidewalk with, I believe, 12 ADA ramps that are included. So they'll submit their bid for that certain area, and we're picking certain areas. This is kind of gonna be a test run for the first round.
Sure.
But I think, the code department did a really good job. They got out there on foot, went, block by block in that first and fourth ward, and really got all the sidewalks. And between People's Gas and that, we should have every sidewalk replaced in the borough. This is all done. So,
I have a question about the sidewalks that are like in the gap between private property and railroad property. So there's a number where there's just sidewalk, gravel, asphalt, but there's never been any connection there, and there's a number of them, like by 11th Street. I'm sure there's lots of others, like on Water. I
and
don't know if there was,
we did, I believe that's on the code reports too. So that's in fourth, I know you're talking about.
yeah, like on the fourth ward,
Yeah.
all the railroad tracks, like all of those spaces, there's usually just a gravel section where the
Right.
sidewalk just stops, and then,
We weren't gonna be putting in new sidewalks though, right?
yeah, it isn't like connect.
It doesn't connect, no, but maybe we can think, let's see how this first
Yeah.
group
Right,
goes,
right.
let's see what we
And it's
have.
kind of
and-
weird, 'cause it's not really connected to anything
Yeah.
else, but it is like, if you're looking for ADA or the people accessibility, it just like
It
stops.
stops.
I thought when I asked,
Yeah, it's just like, it's
I
kind of.
thought when I asked about that a couple years ago, I was told that you can't near the railroad tracks.
Well, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking, maybe there's some regulations with the railroads that
Can't
have
put
to be
sidewalk,
closer, maybe it has to
There's
be.
a box
Or
stand
they have, yeah, cause they have a certain amount of space that's there, so they spray it, like they spray chemicals all
I
over.
was hoping, because I have a line couple that was.
and I'm a touch confused, because my house touches this railroad and I have a sidewalk the whole way. So,
Fourth ward.
and so does the other side of the street,
Yeah,
And I think when I used to live on school too.
yeah, yeah.
Right on Water Street,
So
Water
they-
Street is not.
Well, no, I believe you, but I don't think you can't, it's gotta be, like, we just
It
have to
just
figure out
never-
the right
It
way to
just
do it.
wasn't done,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right,
yeah.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
But I think when we get to that area, in that fourth ward area where there's, I mean, maybe we consider using some of that money. That was part of the grant application, where sidewalks were not, that to replace sidewalks, repair sidewalks, and put sidewalks in where,
so whose responsibility would it become?
Around,
That's,
they have asphalt, just, hey, it goes down and then.
well, not to mention the fact that the only one using the railroad at the moment is what, Cabolcheck? And
The
so,
railroad still owns, they still.
no, they own it, but like, if we're, I think we would need to be cautious on. Like, that, they may not for very long, or they're just gonna let it go, like, if they're not making any money, they're not gonna leave it pristine, that's all I'm getting at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
But Norfolk Southern, I think, owns those lines.
Yeah.
And they are very territorial. Very territorial. And they,
Yeah, I don't know what there is to do.
it's,
Yeah, we just,
But
we
there
just
is
have to
like-
make sure to do it,
No one with any accessibility issues could go walk down Water Street,
Water Street, yeah.
like that,
No,
either side by that railroad track, there's either the storage units.
the
which are-
storage unit's just that parking lot. like the
Yeah, but
parking
it's
lot.
just, it's all broken up and there's big
Yeah.
chunks missing, like big holes everywhere, and then the other side is fine, but then there's just like that drop.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
the
I mean, it's a
sidewalk.
good-
I would sit down, maybe.
So, I mean, it's not a lot, it's
check
like
it.
probably 2 pads on
Yeah.
concrete you're talking, but it's separate.
Yeah.
from
what
Yeah.
is the borough then gonna claim ownership of that? Or
That,
maybe
or
not
the-
ownership
Where
without
the
maintenance of them.
That's,
Closest to the,
yeah,
yeah.
it would be. maybe some-
Well, I wrote it down under community development, and so we'll do some research and.
I didn't know if there's anywhere else in the borough. You know, that has that same problem. The
Well,
railroad tracks.
there's some places, for example, that I think it's the 400 block below, because where the sidewalk just stops.
Yeah.
It's not a railroad track thing, it just stops.
Yeah.
And so, same concept, though, if somebody had a wheelchair, they can't continue down that.
There's a couple.
Right.
Yeah.
What happens in those situations when people have no sidewalk in front of their house? Is that just grandfathered in, or if they do something,
Yeah.
do they have to put a sidewalk? What are the rules of that?
I don't think you have to.
There, you don't have to, if there's not one there.
Like
Like
that
some
corner,
people,
like-
there is no right of way to put one in.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Where there is no sidewalk,
Yeah.
but it's just a path, you know?
Yeah.
or like. The,
Like,
Yeah, because they don't wanna maintain the sidewalks,
yeah,
so they don't put a pin.
it's easier to.
They don't have to maintain the sidewalks.
yeah,
So they run the system.
Especially on the corner, you got like half your property,
yeah.
no sidewalk on it, it's expensive.
Down by the Alps, there's no, that's a perfect example,
Yeah,
there's
that's
no
that.
sidewalk, but there's a
And then
path.
Well, Trajan's working on it, at least down by the,
Yeah, yeah. We get us.
Okay. So anyway, so sounds like we're moving and shaking the sidewalks. My only question on the bid process is, and this is just ignorance, this might be an easy answer. Timeline to completion. If we're gonna have to give them a timeline of which to complete the project, right?
Yeah, mostly all the bids they have, with our paving bid, they have 90 day, like they have. I think it's 90 days, but for this type, maybe we give them.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying we can give them longer,
We can name the,
but I just think it's important.
put on RFP or request for bids.
a request for a proposal, I think, so, because we just want their cost per square feet, yeah.
Well, regardless,
But we would put in our spec sheet,
Yes.
what we want. Now, that might be something you need to talk to your engineer about. To
Mhm.
see, hey, what is a reasonable time?
Yeah.
For this type of project.
right,
You
Yeah,
make it too short, then they're never gonna get it.
Yeah,
They'll do a track
Make it
job.
too long.
Either one.
Then. If we're in the.
Then we're the-
Deep in the fall.
Church Street, Church.
do it a year, like we.
Yeah, too many people at once, I'm sorry. Jonathan, what were you saying about it?
I was kind of curious, like if we're going for like a whole area all at once, or are we breaking it down into what we think would be digestible amounts or achievable amounts within like a given period of time?
We're breaking it down
Yeah.
to smaller
Okay.
amounts.
There's a time limit on the usage of the money.
It's 3 years, so we have.
So yeah, so there's time, there's
Yeah.
that time.
So, but you can't break it into 400 pieces,
Yeah.
is all I'm saying, right? That's why originally I wanted the individual bids, but it didn't work out. So that's why now we're breaking into.
And,
But like,
and
Two
we're
to three
doing
sections.
smaller phases to see how many people will actually qualify for full reimbursement and how many people
Yeah.
kind of qualify for the 50% of
That's good.
reimbursement. So we know what, you know, we might do 1 or 2 phases and the money's gone
Right.
if everybody qualifies for
In which case, we still get a lot of sidewalks,
Yeah.
right?
it. That's great.
Any other questions for community development updates on the sidewalk project? Okay. Which, okay,
Question about that Washington Street property, the bids.
that was admin.
Yeah, I know. I just thought of it because you all asked.
Sure, what's up?
goodbye.
We're not, is it, is there room enough to put a home on? Did we talk about it before or no?
Yeah, it's a non-conforming lot, but there's a time limit in which somebody could buy it and build a house before it flips to they can't.
They have 1 year, the time it
That's
was.
the code, that's the code language according to.
It's really narrow. Compared to the other one.
We have to build as is.
Tiny home.
Yeah.
And they're popular, mobile, 2 tiny homes. All right, thanks.
I have a feeling, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen, but if I were gonna guess, the neighbors are gonna buy it just to add on to their.
Lots.
Good luck.
Yep, okay, on to public safety,
Okay. Heard the public safety meeting in June, just want to mention for the press that Chief Shaw gave the school crossing guards a certificate of appreciation. They went to Bob Dunsmore, Jan Weston, Patricia Connors, Mary Jane Lopez, Jody Johnson, and Melissa Stepish. Another important thing, just to make mention is that, there have been ongoing discussion with the traffic safety efforts, since the tragedy, that happened a few months ago, and Chief Shaw and Nicole have been having ongoing discussions with PennDOT, and it included a walk through the borough discussing intersections. And the borough has looked into purchasing PennDOT approved traffic signs and will work with PennDOT on recommending where to place the signs. PennDOT's still gathering their data and should have a report for the borough sometime in late July or August. And of the events, I want to mention this one because it's happening the next time we have a borough council meeting. The National Night Out, which is sponsored by the police department, is on August 5th in IRMC Park from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And that's it for me. Search questions.
Do you guys know if PennDOT be open to doing another study when we have students here? Because I think that was the issue that we brought to them, like you're doing a study when half the population is here.
Yeah, they've been great partners so far, so I
Maybe if
see that.
we don't like the results, if they're not giving us, hey, you don't have you have no pedestrians, so we could do that again, but
Well, maybe when they come back.
yeah, yeah, we do get like 8,000. Yeah, that's a small amount. Be nice to,
Yeah, they're well aware of the study, like when the timing of the
Yeah.
studies should be.
I know we try to get done quickly.
Yeah,
If,
no, they did the one, but they know a couple more coming. Eden just got a grant opportunity, perfect timing, the day we met with PennDOT, a grant opportunity came in about signage and.
oh, good,
That's great. That, so. Yeah.
okay, anything else, any questions? Okay, moving on then.
one more question.
I'm sure.
It's because, I got alert that there's some events coming in, and I don't think I've seen them come through council yet. There's a Coney wants to have a cornhole tournament. Has any of that done?
I have several requests for special events that are gonna come to public safety next week.
So I saw, it's like, it's getting kind of late for this stuff.
I know, Stephen did apologize, he did say,
Yeah.
oh, I'm late, and
Well,
I,
he just sent me the email with all the stuff, I was like, I don't think I've seen these.
Yeah. You haven't, but the,
Okay, it's
specific to cornhole, they're looking to close, I
Yeah,
think,
it's just.
an alley, so it won't require as much lead time as PennDOT would to close the state highway.
Alright, any other rules for public safety? Which case, moving on to public works.
Okay. Let's do the action items first. All right, we've got some pay applications. The first one is a motion to approve pay application 2024-1 in the amount of $90,619.65 to corporate contracting.
you know what, that should say, contract number 2, sorry,
Sorry, 2024-2.
yeah.
So the other one's 2, so what's that one?
Yeah,
It should, they're both 2. They're
One,
both the
one
same.
is to TP.
One's the electric.
Yeah,
Okay,
one's the
one's the
TP.
contractor, okay. Sounds good. We don't need a second for that, so I'm not having discussion.
No, okay, which case we're paying money, so roll call vote, Lori, whenever you get a chance, please.
Broad,
Yes.
Colazo.
Yeah.
DeBowser.
Yeah.
Frick. Lancaster,
Yes.
Noel.
Yeah.
Cerniso. Smith,
yes.
8 yes, 0 no.
Motion carried. All right, which case, please.
We have the second one here. This is the motion to approve pay application 2024-2 in the amount of $170,000 and 336 to TP Electric Incorporated.
Okay, in which case, Lori, another roll call vote when you're ready, please.
Yes, Broad,
Yes.
Colazo,
Yes.
DeBowser,
Yes.
Frick,
Yes.
Lancaster,
Yes.
Noel,
Yes.
Cerniso,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
8 yes, 0 no.
Okay, all right.
Do you want me to pick up any more of these motions for my committee, or you want to do this at the end?
You,
I guess this looks like a development issue.
yeah, they're both, community development.
Okay, well, then the rest for public works, everyone was there, the borough building construction is on schedule. There continues to be People's Gas in town working on, improving of streets and also repairing streets and sidewalks. So there's those
Oh my
work.
gosh, they finally paid.
They did come in, fix the sidewalk, and then they paved Carpenter Avenue, then paved the road, and the pavers broke the sidewalk that they had just done. So they have to come back and redo the sidewalk. So it was like, oh, that was true. I know, I bet that was asphalt, the concrete guys don't get along. Because, yeah, they just like smashed a big hole in it.
Or the concrete guys
No,
love it.
I just
They were gonna
laughed so
keep
hard, it was
breaking
like, it was beautiful, we had a beautiful new sidewalk, and then it's got a big hole, because they crashed it in there.
Hey, concrete guys might be like job security. but
I know.
I'll do it
true, yeah.
again.
I don't know how they decide the width of the sidewalk. My sidewalk is now 18 inches wider.
Oh, is that?
Whatever it was. And I have a very small front yard. So I was like, oh, wow, you're like, it's huge.
This is actually a good question. I forgot to follow up with Brenda, because if you go down near 11th Street, just south of Church Street, the sidewalk goes skinny, fat,
Yeah.
like the whole way thing. Not like an inch or two like they did in the straight line, but like by 6, 8, 10 inches. Random. Makes no sense.
Read an ordinance.
I
That's a lot.
know it is,
Yeah.
isn't there?
Yeah, they're so
Like you're putting in, they're gonna be at least 36 inches or
There's
whatever.
probably a minimum, but there's probably, I mean, I guess, is there?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But anyway,
It's just a
We were
measure
gone, but they didn't. I
from
think-
the middle of the street to how far in they go of the right of way.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
maybe-
On the roads.
On your property, not on the right of way.
Yeah, it is.
Problem.
That, in this particular case, the weird side is the street side.
Oh.
So I don't know, it's weird, but that's for next week. I'll remember that project, or I won't, one of the two. So anyway. All right, anything else from,
We had a high
You all
flow
did-
event, we're all aware of that at the plant, and they had to use the detention facility.
well, I did my part. I kept some of the water in my basement.
But I'm glad you could eat that out, you know, everybody just keep the water in their basement
Backup
for a good like 24 hours
You know?
before you pump out, that would help the wastewater treatment plant. Yeah, so things are moving forward with our number of our projects at the wastewater treatment plant. And
The Eisenhower's on there and.
yeah,
Signed it, and so all the easements have been signed and returned.
solid easements, so including from the tire. Okay, well, then that project can get going and
It, yeah,
hopefully we can resolve that before school starts.
yeah, so it will be done within that, well, as soon as the rain holds up, but it's getting, they started it, so.
That will be, I'm sure the individual there, the corner that keeps getting flooded, will love that.
Yeah.
Works. As long as it works. Engineering.
It failed as the first time, that's why we have to
But
do.
that
it.
wasn't ours, that wasn't
That
ours,
was-
it was
Sure.
the school district.
Yeah.
On engineering.
I remember the school district getting really upset of all of our stormwater regulations, blah, 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 why did they do all this? And here we are, I guess if you put a concrete slab in a swamp, it does tend to flood.
Hopefully this will fix it.
I know. So, I don't have anything else from Public Works, everyone was here, the minutes are very long, very detailed, if anyone has any questions, so. You know, is there anything additional from Public Works other than the easements have been signed?
Might be the only one who cares, but they're now painting the new blacktop, so if you're interested in seeing what it looks like. Come on down Church Street.
Church Street, yeah.
Tomorrow they'll be stamping on Church Street, between 11th and 12th, so if anyone's interested.
Yeah, here's how that process. We finally got a notice.
Did you?
Yes. It's only 8 hours a day, 3 days in a
Yeah.
row, but we got a notice of these. Yeah, I see. Okay, anything else?
That's it for Public Works.
She's back. Okay, moving on to planning commissions,
Calling it up there.
47. Thank you.
The planning commission. The minutes are pretty comprehensive. The discussions at the meeting had to do mostly with dealing with neighborhood commercial development in low-density residential zones. We don't do apparently a R1, R2, R3 anymore. We do low density, medium density, and high density residential zones.
Yeah.
There's one member of the planning commission who objected to everything, but it's okay. There's only one. They took a vote to make all of West Philadelphia Street, I think from the railroad track, low density residential would carve out for neighborhood commercial areas where they already exist.
Say that one more time, west of almost Philly Street?
Philadelphia Street, west of the railroad track.
Does that mean this map is not right? Because that has downtown core, that's where the color code signified. I don't know what that means differently, but
Where's the railroad track?
well, here,
It's
Right.
between 11 and 12.
Right,
so
It's on-
west of this,
Right.
sorry, okay.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's the railroad track is the bank.
The extensive survey done
And then
For-
car fire.
the cultural research resource survey has been completed or submitted. And then the, going out for the 8th Street corridor project is a big thing. And there's more of that in packet about that, there's a meeting coming up, public meeting. This is, obviously, we've been talking about it at least as long as I've been on council. Which is to create an obvious communication between the university and downtown. Students who come from elsewhere sometimes have trouble finding downtown. I don't quite know why, but when I was a professor there, I was well aware of the fact that students didn't always know where it was. So, and that's going to be another major project in cooperation with downtown Indiana. Yes.
And I guess I can add to that if that's okay.
You're on top of this.
Yes, I am. We are publicly announcing, we've been announcing, but not as publicly, but we will be releasing a press release this week. That officially states to all of our partners, which DI is obviously a financial contributing partner, but IUP, the county, IUP's SGA and IUP's Planning Association have all agreed to be official partners for the project, so that will be coming out. This week, we will be starting our public engagement. We have 6 to 8 events, mostly DI events for the rest of the summer. The rest of the third Thursday, Station Tour this week, a farmer's market. We'll be out doing similar things like we did for the comprehensive plan, just getting some feedback, some mapping exercises, making sure people know about it. The project page, it has been live on the website, so under the planning department page, it does scroll through there. Now you can see a lot of our ongoing projects and get some updates on there. So there will be a lot of good things coming out on that soon, and that with the county commissioners, Representative Struzzi and Senator Pittman's office this morning, to get them all on board as well. So a lot of good momentum with that project.
It's probably a good timing to bring into the, if you wanna jump to the new business and talk about the Michael Baker. Review that agreement, and I can give you an update on that. So downtown Indiana has the agreement with Michael Baker, and they thought we needed to have an agreement too. Although there's no, the money, the funding that we have set aside is our CDBG planning money that we have, we allocated that actually years ago, and I forgot, we talked, I'm like, I know there's funding for it, so it was CDBG, the planning portion of it. So we have 20,000 of CDBG funding set aside for it, so that's.
Should that still be in this resolution?
It's not our, it's no, because it's not, that funding's separate, that's a separate resolution, the CDBG. That's another resolution I believe we already did a while ago, so I can pull that. This is just an agreement with Michael Baker saying, you know, when we talk to them, they can talk to us about this project. But
So
that's.
that's saying there is no fee.
There is no fee for this project with us, no.
Yeah, because downtown Indiana did this solicitation and they have the main agreement, but then Michael Baker wanted an additional contract, for lack of a better word, since we were also working and we are financial contributors in that way, so we just both had contracts signed.
Yeah.
I guess one point is, shouldn't it state the words, there is no fee? Because there's words for will be compensated per exhibit A, and exhibit A is just basically blank. So.
Yeah, they're not, and normally there'd be a fee schedule in there. There's not.
I mean, that's, I guess, a bad
Yeah.
question. Should it state there's no fee, or does it not matter? The absence of a fee schedule indicate there will be no fee.
Because it's just.
Yeah.
This is all it says. Michael Baker agrees to furnish client the following service for the project identified below, which is blank, and then client agrees to compensate Michael Baker for such services provided in this exhibit, which is blank. And so, I don't know.
I mean, I think I would go back to them and just ask them to clarify it.
Like add a
It
sentence.
just looks like there's something blank instead of saying.
Right.
There's no fee.
Probably just says blanket contract.
It's say,
Yeah. you just said-
That was my assumption as well, but like, is that okay? It looks like they just forgot to enter it rather than
And we're, Trajan's on, the call, but we do have a meeting with Michael Baker on Friday, so we can ask them to clarify if we.
Yeah,
Is it time sensitive that we have to do it tonight?
it can Trajan talk or
Trajan, can you unmute?
Yeah, it's not time sensitive. We could talk about it on Friday.
Right, and we're correct in saying that this is just the contract that, Michael Baker wanted because DI had one as well?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, so we can talk to them on Friday. It's not time sensitive. It was just, as we're rolling this out, they wanted to make sure that both parties had a contract in place.
And just like it spelled out specifically that the borough is incurring zero cost.
Correct. Transparent.
And I think there's another one. Trajan, did we pass the CDBG resolution? I mean, we pass those every year. Was that included in the planning? I know we included that in the planning dollars. Did we pass a resolution for that? Or not yet?
I don't believe so, but let me check with Luann on that tomorrow. If we did, she would have some record of it. If not, that's something we can do. And like I said, that also isn't necessarily time sensitive either.
No, we have time on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Hold on that.
Yeah.
So just wait and carry it on or pass it in lieu of different verbiage.
I would just wait.
Sure.
We'll table it.
Okay, we have to actually table it.
No, because we didn't make a motion yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should have been,
Okay.
bring it back.
All right. So on to Shade Tree.
We can get
Okay.
their minutes.
You got a date or?
No, I don't.
I just said I can feel that we're gonna leave by 8 tonight.
That's bad.
Well, anyway, on to Shade Tree. So I went to the Shade Tree committee meeting, made a lot of friends.
I would like to see that.
Hey, I got every single human in the room to speak, okay? I would take that as a solid win. Okay, essential, because we had mentioned the Shade Tree and the ordinance, different things have been bantered about a bit. I specifically brought up the Shade Tree Committee. Like, we need their input, we want their input. This is their invitation to give their input. And so they basically committed to a 2-month timeline of which they were trying to get corrections. Things to the ordinance, right? Let's give them time to go get with the new arborist and actually go through things. And so. Whenever, this is the 1 month mark, whenever they're, next week, sorry. The Shade Tree meeting would be the 1 month mark in the month of July, so it's until the Shade Tree in August. So basically, early September is when we should have something back from them of which to then continue on the process. So, yeah, because it was a little bit of like, there's no, if we read through the ordinance, it's very wrong. Nicole has insisted that there was a one line and edited version that no one could find.
There is.
So yeah, basically, they're gonna try to find that edited version that Bob had worked on and get back into it, see what changes they did like, don't like. You know, and I encourage them, like, this isn't the time to be like, don't make the decision that you can or can't do something, put in there what you like it to function as. Right? If we have to then change it after the fact, we will, but in the moment, put in how you would like Shade Tree to function for it to actually function the way it's supposed to. That's the guidance I gave them. So.
It was a good meeting. I did follow up with Betsy and,
Oh, yes, thank you.
and Ryan and I sat with Betsy, who was on Shade Tree for a long time and kind of had got her input on the situation and how to move forward with some things. And, it was a good meeting and I think moving forward, I think Shade Tree, Angie, you know, they want to see changes too, so.
All right, so yeah, we'll see what time brings and what changes they come up with and all the things. Okay, that's really all I had for Shade Tree. Any questions about Shade Tree? Okay. Which gets on to personnel reports. Nicole.
Okay,
What's the chime on?
building, hopefully we have a move-in date of August first. They're over there now, they're doing the council room, the flooring downstairs and the steps. It's moving along. Hopefully we see a lot in the next couple weeks. The table, the council room table was repurposed and they finished that, so I'm excited to see the outcome of that and how the council room shapes up. Technology will be updated down there. Things will get hopefully, with the new sound system, security, we'll have some cameras in place for safety and it's.
Ones that work.
Yes,
There was cameras.
yeah. We're cleaning up some old data lines that we don't need anymore. Comcast, I am moving in a different direction with some phone systems over there. But all for the good. We're gonna clean some things up and move forward with updated phone system. Other than that, it's going good. So I do have a report. Eden has joined teams with, we brought this up a couple months ago about the community yard sale and farmer and flea market event. And I think the group dynamic to Eden at first was like, we didn't want to take this on. Let's kind of see who can partner in with it. And Eden did a good job. She reached out. So Indiana County Farmers Market, the Center for Community Growth, S&T Bank, and Indiana Borough is going to collaborate and do a farm and flea weekend. So they're going to do a community-wide yard sale centered around Indiana County Farmers Market, featuring downtown mini markets for residents to sell household items, clothing, outdoor gear, and more. So Eden, when's this information gonna go live? Is it up?
It's drafted to go live as
Okay.
soon as possible.
So this is a good thing, guys. I think this is great that, Indiana Borough is gonna do this. You go to, I've seen this in other places. Greensburg does it a lot. So we're looking at Saturday, August 2nd from 9 to 1. And we're using S&T's parking lot. And for $5, you can get a spot. And how's that gonna be? Just like they're gonna go on and register for a spot?
Yeah, we'll use Eventbrite to keep it separate from Borough things, so the third party there. All registrants can register for $5. That will.
Main office, right?
The one,
The S&T,
Philadelphia.
the
or the one,
This.
H,
Yeah.
the H Street.
farmer's market one?
No,
You're talking about the one across.
The other one.
this, yeah.
Oh,
that's-
Eighth Street lot.
The H Street lot,
Yeah, H.
yes. What's the matter?
Yeah, okay. We also have an 8th Street lot, sorry.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
street parking lot.
I would make sure you don't call it S&T lot. Call it 8th Street lot, cause. Like that, we stopped
Letter right there.
But the
Yeah.
8th Street lot belongs to the borough.
again, I mean, calling it the S&T, nobody knows it's an S&T lot, it's not listed as, it's not.
It's listed as the 8th Street.
The
Yeah.
H Street lot,
Okay.
yeah,
Something.
okay.
What's the 8th Street lot, though? Isn't the 8th Street lot the one?
By S&T, I mean, this is why it's, yeah, it would be the
Yes,
north
that's-
8th.
Yeah,
It's still an 8th
Building through the
Street.
map.
It will put it there. Let's say across from the borough building. across-
Yes.
Yeah.
Eighth and Water.
8th and
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Wait, not from here, all the people would be like, across from the Kmart, like, there isn't even a Kmart there anymore, why are you here?
Yeah, they had the Oktoberfest there and they call it the S&T lot, no, like it's so confusing, nobody knew where it was, cause there's no actual.
Yeah,
sign.
we have it. We
I
have it
propose we
listed.
name that lot the Luke Flash lot.
The future playground.
Small feet, no, yeah,
Right.
It rolls off the tongue nice there.
yeah, no, I think everybody was excited, and I appreciate Eden, sticking with it. I think it's gonna be a great event.
Are they limiting the number of spaces?
So the lot will be limited, yeah, because we only have so many spaces and we are providing 2 parking spots per person, so that you'll have a spot if you want to come and bring your vehicle, be out of your vehicle, bring your own table, you know, those kinds of things, just to give enough space. So we will have that limited. Off the top of my head, I don't remember the number, but I have the number of parking spaces.
Do you know that?
So that we can close that lot off.
So is it more yard sale-y, flea market-y, or is there gonna be crafters?
No,
vendors?
it's yard sale, and that was to work with the farmers market because they are a producers and growers market. This has to be household goods. We can't have any other vendors, producers, every producer maker has to be over at the farmers market.
Great.
I have a bike. I can send.
Just for I guess, the interest of making it large and available. Are we pushing locals to go there, or is this to bring people from out of town? Are we encouraging the locals then to have their own yard sale?
Yes, so it's community wide too, so every resident can have their own yard sale, that's part of
That's
the
right.
registration fee, we can print yard signs. We will be making a map on Google Maps that has registrants on it, we'll have a map at the farmer's market and a map at the 8th Street lot with QR code, takes you to the map too, so that you can be out throughout the town. If you are selling at your own house, you can sell all day long, we don't care how long you're out there. But to be in the lot, the times will align with the farmer's market so that we are getting people out in 8th Street, crossing the lot and to
Cool.
the Borough building.
That is very neat.
Great.
Will there be? Is that gonna be extended hours for the farmer's market or still the 9 to 12?
Still the same, yeah, their vendors already are in that contract, there's a lot of big ask for them, yeah.
Limited to borough residents?
It is, right now, it'll be limited to borough residents until we see what we can extend outside of it. Now, obviously, if someone lives on the White Township Borough and they would like to have a yard sale, great, but just to protect our capacity, we'll limit it to our residents.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Anything more?
That's it.
Cool.
No, I think we can all do our part to help spread this and spread the word. You know,
It's very cool.
hopefully everybody's, make sure you're all registered for the newsletter, I'm sure it'll be in the newsletter and pass on the information.
Says things coming up tomorrow.
All right, onward to chief.
So thank you. Just to reiterate a few brief thoughts that Counselor Lancaster had said at Public Safety, just again, a reiteration that our crossing guards are really unsung heroes of borough public safety and school safety. They work every day that our kids are getting to and from school. Their effort is dedicated, and we at the police department, and I know that we spoke about this, and everyone would agree that their efforts are appreciated and not often enough highlighted. So just a sincere thank you to all of our crossing guards who are keeping our kids safe. Also, just to add a little to our traffic safety effort conversation, I want to make clear to council and to our community that our traffic safety efforts on Philadelphia Street are going to be ongoing. It's not going to be, let's identify either the quickest fix or the most significant fix. Is going to be a series of important steps geared towards creating a safer pedestrian and a safer motorist environment. And Manager Cepas and I are working with Director Gellis and certainly Hank Cool from the parking department and PennDOT, just to make sure that we are all like-minded in any recommendation that we may bring to council. But the goal clearly is to keep zero crashes and safe pedestrian walking. I think this is going to become increasingly more significant for us if there is and does become an influx of traffic due to all of the construction projects that are occurring around Indiana County and some of the new developments that we're going to see. Borough is still the county seat of Indiana County, so we can expect to always be busy and be a driver of business and commerce. So we want to be diligent with those traffic safety efforts, and I'm really appreciative of PennDOT and Manager Cepas, and we'll discuss traffic safety at every public safety meeting moving forward in some capacity. National Night Out, again, the police department welcomes our entire community to National Night Out. That's going to be August 5th. It's a Tuesday, 5 PM to 7 PM. All of our partners should be in the park, so please bring your families out to meet your first responders and the folks who help your first responders. It's been a great event for the past several years, and we're extremely honored to put that on for our community.
One more time, Chief, I'm so sorry, what was the date on that again?
It's Tuesday, August 5th.
It's right before our next meeting.
Right. And then finally, just a sincere thank you to Manager Steve Busser for her efforts to our station and building renovation. It's an everyday project, and certainly it'll be part of her legacy, and I think one that she and Indiana Borough will be very proud of, as will all of you when it's completed. It's a nice building, and I think that it's deserving of our Indiana community and the work that's being done here. So that's all for today.
All right, any questions for the chief? All right, Mr. Solicitor.
Thank you. Just very happy about movement you made on the property. That's kind of the fruition of several years of litigation and issues with that property. So we're finally happy to see some of the fruits of that work. Otherwise.
Other property, now we're starting on those other properties too.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
met with Pat.
So we're coming.
Yeah.
I have one for you.
There's a few more that are coming,
Right now.
not working, so, but, you know, it's definitely a process, but we are definitely making progress. Otherwise, just working with Manager Cephas regarding, so there's an issue with one of our labor unions that we're gonna be going to arbitration on. That I think council's aware of, so, but otherwise, everything's fine. So, that's all. Any questions?
Okay. Moving on to our IUP representative. We do.
So just a few quick updates. Rural Health Pulse is continuing with IRMC and featuring the trauma program manager this next episode. Council of Trustees had a special meeting last month where they approved recommendations from the Academic Affairs Committee, which included certificate program and career and technical teacher ed, but there's additional information within the link that I sent there. Big reminder to everyone here and in the community about our sesquicentennial kickoff event on Saturday, August 23rd. All are welcome. It's open to everyone. Also, a reminder to save the date for homecoming, October 4th, as well as an announcement that we made recently, and tickets are on sale for a concert with Clarks and Chris Higby at the PCC. Should be a great weekend. And then I had sent a special request, and Nicole and I think are gonna talk further, so I don't even know if you want me to bring it up or not.
They have the letter sent, I sent out the letter, the request.
Okay.
If you wanna talk about it.
Sure.
If you haven't. Go ahead, you talk about the
Yeah,
flags.
so it would be where the American flags are along Philadelphia Street now. We would like to purchase IUP and IUP 150 branded flags that we could put up during the month of September through homecoming, October 4th. They would then, of course, come down in time for Veterans Day. And then potentially we would also like to maybe put them up in the spring and the month of April and finishing out through commencement, which will close out our sesquicentennial year celebration.
So my only comment to Jen, at first when I thought she was requesting that, I thought she was talking about the banners. That's not the case. She's talking about the flags. My only, it's not even concern, the downtown clubs, like the Eagles, the Moose, the Elks and the American Legion, they purchase those flags. They do, and then the flags normally stay up until Veterans Day.
From when to when?
From they're put up, before the 4th of July. Yes,
Say the Veterans Day.
until Veterans Day, till November. So, but I don't know how many flags were you thinking?
We were thinking to place them where all of the American flags are along the street.
Is there a reason you they didn't wanna use the banner post that exists, like the
That's-
slide on post?
We didn't think that we would have permission to use the banner posts.
Well, because that
IUP
original,
used to have them on there.
oh, did they? And then there was
That's a
one,
Center Gateways
yes,
of Opportunity, that was years ago.
Yeah.
yes. And I
I
just,
know DI's been working to try to get sizes
What about every other?
for
one?
the America's 250.
well,
That's
and I
what they're-
just
yeah.
showed, Jen the pictures of, because we do have one banner up there, the
The
farmer's
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 market,
market,
yeah.
and those are 5x3 and 250. I don't know the cost compared to the flag. Did you guys already order the flags?
We
or-
have it, I mean, we weren't gonna order or purchase anything until we
Till-
had permission,
yeah.
or if we knew that we would be able to do something, so.
I mean, if you,
What about every other one?
Yeah, that's what I was actually just.
I like the banners. Yeah. I mean, the
Because we
banners-
are ordering the pole banners for, because we have those throughout campus, so we are ordering those already for campus. So if it is possible that we would just tack on additional of those to put along Philadelphia Street, and that would be permitted, then yeah, we would be fine with that as well.
I did talk to him, I asked Paul, today if all the post has, because those,
They don't all.
they don't all have them, but I'm sure there, we can find, Paul can
Like
find and
bracket.
get brackets and put them up. It's just because we just never used them, used them in for so
Yeah,
long.
and there's gonna be a request coming in from the tourist bureau to put up an American 250.
For America's 250, yeah.
Banners are there, okay.
So then we all
When do they
ready.
wanna put those?
I don't know, everything's still like waiting on approvals for.
So I,
And if you tell the community,
yeah,
on to IUP, I think is a good
Yeah.
thing, for sure.
yeah,
I mean, I'm a little bit like with Tammy, I mean, every other, every third, so
Or
like
the,
that.
yeah.
or the
I think the
banners.
banners.
I like the
that's
banners.
just Up and.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, or something like that, right.
Cause I mean, they're hanging, you're not really, you don't really can't read it.
Right.
Unless the wind is blowing
Yeah.
at the right.
And it would be cohesive with your look on campus, just.
Mhm.
pull it
Yeah.
into-
Probably
Yeah,
cheaper to do
it
it
is
both.
to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, cause you're not, the banners aren't permitted if it's a bit like you're doing off-site advertising. Other than farmer's market was approved for some long time ago. So, yeah.
I think I like it.
So what do we, Nicole or Pat or Peter,
There's
what do we need to do? Do we need to do something? Do they need to change the request to ask for different
yeah,
placement? Like what it would have?
no, I can, approve the right of way, like there's a banner thing, right of way thing that I can approve.
Okay,
I just wanted to get, the request came to council. I was concerned with the whole flag, the American flag thing, just because of the other places paying to have those up, so I was kind of conflicted with.
You can make a
removing all
good
that.
point, but see, if the wind isn't blowing, you're not necessarily
You're
gonna
not
get
gonna
the full
see it.
effect.
Yeah. You're not-
Yeah.
So I agree, so I think if we can do the pole banners,
Do the
then
pole
that would be
banners.
better.
And get,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it'd probably be cheaper for you guys, cause then you just.
We're already ordering it anyway, yeah.
And then we won't have any random complaints, but now we aren't patriotic.
Yeah.
but yeah, question then, you had said the tourist bureau is gonna be asking for which spot?
All the banners, so like, if they get those all worked out, get all the brackets up, then it'll be easy for the. Because I know the DI also wants to start utilizing those
Probably,
more
yeah,
in the
for
future,
sure.
but I know the tourist bureau has money from the America 250.
Right, is there gonna be a conflict when they wanna put them? That's next year.
Yeah, it should be, I mean, it should be for the 4th of July though, next
No,
year.
I understand.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I was just saying,
Done.
too many people once.
The
It's not
Tourist
till next.
Bureau should want it for the 4th of July, so by the time that commencement is wrapped up, I mean, that
We
would
should
still
be
give
done.
them.
So
It'll work out well.
effectively,
Yeah.
we could
It'll be-
potentially have them up before the start of the academic year, because if we could do that, that would be really perfect. for us.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it would just be the ones that are missing brackets that we'll have to
Yeah.
find.
Realistically, this is a manager approval thing anyway,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so at this point, we.
I love that, love to see something up on there.
Yeah.
You're about right.
Yeah. Then somebody could actually track their own brackets,
yeah,
get them ready for future use too.
okay.
Yeah, I have that.
So always a drop in.
And then you just let me get quantities.
Right.
Like,
Fine.
when I need to get a news.
Let's just find out.
Anything else for
Okay.
the IP representative or from? No? Okay, moving on to apparently me. I don't have anything specific. Summer, it's going by too fast. I hope people are enjoying it. I hope the, Public Works, and everybody that's out in the heat is being safe. And, the people monitoring the meters, walking everywhere and sewer treatment plant dealing with everything. So hopefully everyone's just safe and having a fun and, memorable summer. I feel like it's going by the blink that I really do. Before we know it, it'll be homecoming and then Christmas, right? So, so I don't have much else other than that, just, yeah. Mr. Unless anyone's got any questions, which none of you ever do.
I just wanted to mention, since the little horseshoe at the end of Chestnut and had their flood last month. It's just amazing when you think of how huge of a flood has taken place elsewhere in this country. And
I'm
that
gonna
was- that
randomly
was-
talk now, because I'm gonna pretend you were addressing it to me, as it's the.
I was just adding it to your
President's time,
president time.
and so since you weren't, I'm gonna ignore you now, no.
Already said it. Already said it, so.
Anyway, Mr. Mayor, please save us.
First off, for clarification, the Eighth Street parking lot was actually Fleming Buick. And I was there when it burned down. And,
Where are you now, chief?
The paper apart.
He was there when it burnt down.
He'll say it was before his time.
Yeah.
I was fighting the fire. So we saved the parking lot. Nice job. So actually, it was owned by the Delaney Chevrolet, so Jack Delaney actually. But I just wanted to clear that up. I had a request last month from our solicitor to do a proclamation, and I'd like to read it.
Yes.
This is from the Office of Mayor, Borough of Indiana proclamation, whereas the Indiana High School Little Indians baseball team is made up of talented and amazing baseball players and coaches. And whereas the Indiana High School Little Indian baseball team had an astounding year, losing only one game. And whereas the Indiana High School Little Indians baseball team went on to win the state championship, and whereas the member of the Indiana community could not be more proud of the team. And now therefore, I, William B. Simmons, by virtue of the authority of the Office of Mayor of Indiana, Pennsylvania, do hereby honor the entire baseball team and coaching staff by recognizing this group as a very classy organization, and also recognize this group as #1 citizens of Indiana, PA. P.S. We also want to thank Pat Doherty for his nice job of announcing all the games and keeping us very excited. So Pat, I can give this to you if you know where
Yeah,
to go.
In fact, I'll talk to you offline there.
Okay.
May have something for you to actually present it to them, but yes.
Okay, very cool. That sounds good. The other thing, yeah. He did a nice job. Just, we all know this, but it's something we need to keep thinking about. When you go to Fort and Philly, Rite Aid is going to be closing, and that's a very popular corner. And anything we can do to help promote businesses, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
We hate to see it happen. Bilo closed at 6 o'clock tonight, just up the street. And of course, we know we'll start to see Carriage House start to be torn down here pretty soon too. So there'll be a lot of activity relating to that will hopefully help us with future businesses.
Bio closed.
Today.
Today. Was the headline. Big lots were opened again, right?
On the Facebook.
Poor kids.
Yeah, very good. That's all I have. Thank you.
This, I'll go for 2 half gallons of milk for $2. Yeah.
Don't want to buy a little clothes out, I'll make up with the Gazette email that I did.
Milk was full price. I got some milk.
Unfortunate reality of the Rite Aid situation is in a bankruptcy situation, like they just went out of business and they're selling off the lot, it's gonna be a whole process. Hopefully they at least maintain that lot. It is a big commercial.
It is.
In the borough. Yes, exactly, that's, I hope at least to keep the grass cut.
I don't imagine that the
Can we say none of it?
brand itself going to build it, it probably was something backstop between it, so.
My snow contract. Rite Aid above.
Uh,
So, and it still doesn't mean they own the building.
right.
They just may own responsibility or taking care of it, right? You still might be right, but anyway.
It's a good shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
On to old business.
Whole business.
What are you, the chancellor?
The chancellor, I'm the king. Sorry, no, I'm the chairman of the Indiana County Municipal Emergency Services Authority. That's what I am. And I'm really lucky to have a board that's really committed to moving forward. And we're at a good inflection point right now. We've made a lot of progress working with citizens informally, and we're moving that into a more formal arena. So we're going to be in the process of developing a plan so we can move forward with that fee schedule hearing in early fall, making it on time to make sure that, you know, EMS stays funded and secure moving forward, and Indiana County can grow into a countywide system.
And I'm getting more buy-in from some of those holdouts as the process goes on, or not really yet?
Yeah, I think we've been successful. We've been successful. The better our relationship with citizens has gotten, the better our relationship with those other municipalities. But we're not stopping with citizens. We're going to continue reaching out to our partners that also serve the county and other locations,
Sure.
especially in our more rural areas.
Very good.
Yeah.
Any questions for Jonathan? All right. Let's face it, on to new business.
I have an old business
Oh.
question. The Monday food trucks.
Sorry, thank you. Wait a minute.
No, the Monday food trucks, did we have a designated parking spot for them? Because I've had some questions come in about them being in front of Laguna. And how that's kind of might be influencing their traffic, and I thought the assigned parking spot was across the streets.
Both sides.
Yeah,
isn't
both
it?
sides.
It did both sides.
Because there's.
And it was only, and Sam has been trying to keep it off of their side, but there has been an incident twice with the trucks being too big for
The other side.
the other side, so that's done, that truck is no longer, they're booked, so they're not coming back, they already did, it was the lobster truck. The lobster truck had to be on that side, so he has talked to, Luna and.
Awesome. I instructed that I like had your way or,
Yeah,
yeah, so
Yeah,
okay,
it's
good to
been-
know.
yeah,
Alright, so our goal, it's either side is the
The
opposite,
other
our goal is the other side.
our goal was the other side, some of the smaller sides was like the coffee and drink. Was on the other side, the time that there was two trucks, and the other one was a smaller coffee truck.
I mean, as it expands though, there's a reason to think at some point it's gonna happen again. And
Yeah.
technically, although it didn't happen a lot,
They're both.
the program existed
trucks,
before Laguna was in that location.
Definitely, but I think we chose those days, times and locations based on the hours that people are open, so.
Yeah.
Good to know, thank you.
Before I move on to new business, sorry, thank you for reminding me. Anything else under old business? No, okay. Yeah, we have two things.
Well, we're skipping, we only have three.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, number 3, right? Yeah.
Right.
Okay, in which case then, we want to apply for a new grant, correct? That's what it is,
Yeah.
a new grant?
Hartford Avenue's been on, we tried to go for funding for CDBG for Carpenter Avenue, and that area just wasn't gonna fit with the CDBG guidelines and that. So we've been looking for funding for that project for a while now, so this is a good opportunity to apply for one.
Okay, so that gives us the background on what this is hoping to achieve. Which case then. Do we have a motion?
Reading.
Oh, yeah, that'd be helpful. Well, I mean, I can read it.
Yeah, I was just saying I
suppose.
had to read it out loud. Motion to approve the resolution 2025-08, resolution to apply DCED multimodal transportation fund for repairs to storm sewers, sidewalks, and roadways on Carpenter Avenue.
I said, oh, that needs to be here. So, buddy. All right, moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
This grant program is the same one that we were awarded 2 years ago for 5 bridge repairs that will be taking place next year, so it's kind of the multimodal transportation funds. This one by DCED, the PennDOT one is the one that we got all the money for the sidewalk, so we're hopeful that we would get awarded again for this project as well.
So for clarity, is this the one where the gentleman came in and I forget exactly what?
No,
This is-
That's Fisher.
That's
Okay.
Fisher, yeah, that's.
That
we are
that poor guy, he's got all.
Yeah,
That's
Okay.
gonna be the CDBG funds, right?
Yes.
Thank you, okay.
this is like the Salvation Army's, like,
Yeah.
scared they're gonna lose their sidewalk.
We do have some other grants lined up to continue the work on Fisher in addition to the CDBG
Yeah.
funds, but those will be coming later this summer.
Awesome. Any further discussion? We're just applying, so we're not spending money yet, right? Okay, in which case then, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. And we're waiting on the other one. Which case then any other new business? Okay, upcoming positive events and positive community impacts. I feel like we've been talking about pretty sporadically throughout all of these council meetings, so sort of taking the wind out of my sails for the lines at the end of the meeting, but that's okay. Cause we have the community yard sale going on, a lot of stuff going on in EP. The, oh gosh, National Night Out is coming up, and that doesn't even count like
Thursday.
Thursdays and
It's a Wonderful Life 5K / Christmas in July festival happening out.
that's this weekend.
That's this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, fireworks.
Jessica, I don't remember the date. It might be tomorrow. Did you go to church on Sunday?
Yeah.
There's gonna be a special showing at the Indiana movie theater.
Tuesday and Wednesday.
No, at the one at the mall, I believe. Do you, if you remember it, do you wanna just say what it is?
The movie that was,
It's the
It's the
good,
summer-
Wild
it's the
Robot
summer
is the
movie.
movie.
yes, the summer movie is,
Right.
for kids, it's like $2.
Right,
and
it's $2.
10 or 10:30 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, big kids too.
My wife's gonna go, so I don't think so.
Popcorn or something, I mean, I always get
Yeah.
out of there dirt cheap with like all my kids and tons of popcorn.
Yeah, so that's an event that's coming up, I'll look forward.
I have two now.
Take it away.
So if you didn't hear, Footlight Players, which is in its 21st year at IUP, it's like, third to 12th grader, theater camp that happens for a month. Their shows are this weekend. Shrek Junior will be July 11th at 6:30 and July 12th at 7. Shrek Junior. Midsummer Night's Dream is July 11th at 8 and Saturday, July 12th at 12:30. And then Dare to Dream, which is a Disney musical review, will be on July 12th, that's Saturday, at 11 and 5. And then I have a second thing, IUP is welcoming back one of our biggest conferences. The New Testament Church International Convention will be on campus Wednesday, the 9th, so starting tomorrow through Sunday, July 13th. It will welcome back about 3,300 registrants, and they'll be primarily on campus, but that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to let you know that they'll be with us.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's for business.
Okay, any other, we always have a lot of events, we don't have a lot of positive community impacts, there's gotta be something up there.
I mean, I think it's exciting that we're getting the sidewalk program. I mean, like stuff that started a number of years ago that's grown and bigger and established.
I have a few things if you want a few more.
Yes.
We applied to, two grants for shade tree of last month, so they have
Oh,
been
yes.
very responsive following the last meeting. One of those would grant us completely free trees, to plant in the fall.
That one's repeatable too, is this other one Sarah brought up?
No, this is the one from the DCNR foresters.
Okay,
And this will be targeting trees along Fifth Street to replace along the junior high school. And then the one that Sarah brought up, the Healthy Planet one, sponsored by Giant. This is something that we did have to offer a little bit of a match, but it would replace all 25 trees on Church Street if we are granted it. I feel really good about the first one. Second one, we should find out in July for both of them. Our endowment application is in review, so they want to meet with us in 2 weeks, kind of in person, to talk with our steering committee and residents. So hopefully we can keep that momentum going there. And then we're also in conversation with the chamber to have an open house or business after hours, to welcome people to our new building. And I've also scheduled us to host the end of August coffee talk, so we can have that in our new building. Those are the last Tuesdays of the month. So we'll have it over there so that people can see it there too.
Wow.
So see all that in exec tomorrow.
I have a press release too, so, you know.
Don't forget the taste and tour on Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah, that's coming. That's a biggie.
And don't go late.
Yeah.
There's no food left.
It starts at 5.
Cool, all kinds of sweet stuff.
Public stuff.
All right, in which case then, you already talked about the 83 initiative kickoff. haven't we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, I didn't check it off, sorry, okay. Okay, in which case then we did need an example, anything else for upcoming positive community events? Okay, no executive session, in which case then we have a motion to. It was good.